So the first challenge to any project is how are you going to hold your material? That's probably the most important, and especially one like this where I'm finishing both sides of it. Holding the material is particularly important when everything is finished, and we're going to end up with a big hole on one end. That's what the beauty of a jam chuck, and that's what we'll do. All right, we are basically round. Still got that good sized crack there, but I'm not going to worry about that yet. We're going to get quite a bit slimmer than this. I'm going to start making the tenons on both sides. I'm going to cut the actual center hole that we're using for, we'll start with salt. All right, next step, we're gonna start out with probably 1.25 inches. We're gonna cut in a flange pocket, and then I'm gonna do a 1 inch as far as I can. And with my Forstner bits, I'm gonna slow back down to 500 RPM. We are part of the way in, and I'm going to mark that about there. So this is where our drill went, and I'm just holding that up approximately as deep as we cut, and I'm going to leave probably this much at the top. Now, since this is a 1 inch hole, next thing I'm going to do is make a jam chuck that fits nearly that whole distance. I really want all of that distance taken up, and it's going to have a 1 inch stem and be suitable for a chuck. So one thing that I can do is I can part this off and use this piece for my jam chuck. So that's what we're going to do. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up. If you really like what you're seeing and you want to see more, definitely subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on our channel, Daily Woodworks, and we do a lot of stuff, not just wood turning. We have a lot of projects going on, so definitely check and see what is going on. All right, I went ahead and did a little bit of shaping because it was held so good. So I wanted to get started with that. And then I also cut some down here, just hog some material off of it. But now I'm going to separate. So I'm going to pull off my live center, and I'm just going to use my little saw. Okay, so there's the hole. That's the top. Get everything out of there. Now we're just going to fit this onto there. So one thing that I do is I will angle this down until it fits, like it's just starting to fit. So now I know that that is the diameter I need to hit. And you can see it just put a mark on it. And that's right where I need to hit. There we go. That is all the way up in. Now I'm going to cut off this. Actually, we're going to drill this first. Okay, for this step, I'm going to use the 7/64 drill bit. It's a little bit big, but we tend to use the big Redmond salt or the pink salt, so it's kind of bigger chunks. So I think I'm going to do 3 holes in the top since it's salt. And no, I did not measure. I didn't do a specific design, but just the 3 holes. All right, let's go back and finish this off. Okay, now we're going to push this on. I'm going to push on all the way, as far as I can. And you can do anything, any shape here you want. I'm going to do a flattened off front because Steve had a flattened off front. And I kind of want to match his and I'm going to try, the way I was suggesting to him was to use the skew. So I'm going to try that. If it doesn't work, I'll probably round it off because I kind of like that shape. So we're going to start, and I'm going to hold the skew like this with the long side down and just run it in along that side. All right, and that gives it a pretty good cut. Right. And just for time savings, I'm just going to put some abrasive paste and carnauba wax on it. Alright, while that's gassing off, I'm going to go find a piece for the plug on the bottom. Smooth as glass. Okay, now all we need is a plug to fit in there. We're going to set that up there. I'm going to take this one off, save that, and I did find a piece of pine. I definitely want something softer than the shaker. I don't want the same material. Just a touch too small. Okay, that's pretty tight, so we're gonna just sand it now, and I'm going to leave a lip on it. Let's see if we got too small. Oh, that is perfect. Just snug. Okay, so I'm not even going to touch that. I'm going to cut this part off and part it off there. And don't want it to split anymore. I should probably use another fruit like cherry or something. Pine is so hard to work with. Just splits off so easy. So that is our plug. I can sand that off flat, but it is going to go up in here, just like that. And there's our salt shaker. So we've got our plug that shoves in there. Goes in pretty good. It's sealed, and I put some flats in it to use a screwdriver or a butter knife and lever that out. There's probably an easier way if you've got a plastic cap. It should come out a lot easier. You don't want it falling out. That's fairly snug. For a fancy table setting or something, that would be nice. There's my salt shaker with plug and 3 holes. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up. If you really like what you're seeing and you want to see more, definitely subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on our channel, Bailey Woodworks, and we do a lot of stuff, not just wood turning. We have a lot of projects going on, so definitely check and see what else we've got going on here, and maybe even here. But definitely subscribe there. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the future videos.